Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kate, this is The Mystic in the Woods, and today we are going to talk about the decks I have been using this spring and early summer, especially for sort of integration of shadow work, balance of dark and light, and as I've been stepping into more of a creative cycle for myself. So these are the decks, like I just said, that I've been using the last couple of months. A couple weeks ago, I did a video about the decks I've been using to assist in very deep shadow work and connecting with beings of the divine darkness. Now I am still sort of in a deep shadow work phase, but I'm coming out of it also, and I'm really in the integration phase and coming back into a creation phase. In fact, the last month I've been deep in creating again. And I think that it's important to remember that when we talk about shadow work, that it is something that I think for most of us, it's going to come in cycles. It's an ongoing thing. It's not like you spend 2 months on shadow work, then you're done for the rest of your life, but it's generally going to be something we go through in seasons and in cycles. So I talked about that, in a video a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to start with this a couple of decks that were on that list as well, just to get them out of the way. So this is the Magical Botanical Oracle. If I was going to redo my top 10 mass market decks, this deck would be on it. I love the guidebook. Like I said in my shadow work video, this very much feels like the shadow or the underworld as a whole for me. It's super balanced, if I didn't just say that. And it is, the guidebook is just in depth enough to give you a really solid message and lots of jumping off points without being pages and pages of reading. Now, I've been using this one in combination with my Nameless One Tarot and Oracle for daily draws, just for daily messages, especially around integration and creation for me, but just general daily draws. I've been using these two decks, and I have found that they really do go beautifully together. They really speak well to each other, and that has been really beautiful. I do have a whole video on the Nameless One Tarot and Oracle because this is an expensive deck. I have found it to be worth it. I will say I did finally just take the court cards out of the deck. I've never done that before in my life, removed cards from a deck, but the court cards in this deck just do not work for me. They are just really hard for me to read. So I took them out. So there you go. So those are the two decks I've been using for daily draws. So then, as I've been stepping into creating, I have been creating a couple of different programs and offerings around tarot and shadow work, and all very excited about it. But I have been balancing the light and the dark in those programs as well as within myself as I'm going through this integration and then creation mode. And I am still using the Witch's Tarot by Burning Paper Hearts to really, during that process, to continue bringing to light the dark divine feminine, the wounded dark divine feminine, where conditioning shows up for women, how we can let that go, how we can integrate that. This was also on my shadow work video, my decks to assist with shadow work video, because like I said, this really seems to hold that energy for me of the divine dark feminine type of energies and archetypes and beings and things like that. So I've been using this one to continue bringing that divine darkness into my awareness and keeping it in my awareness so that it can be balanced out. And to balance it, I have been using my Ember and Aura Tarot and my Modern Hue Tarot by Ritual Planner. I also have a video on this deck. This is the RWS redone with watercolors and more of a modern type of a color palette. This is my favorite RWS. I love it. This is the one that I use. This and the Darkness of Light Tarot, but this is actually the RWS artwork, whereas Darkness of Light is not. So I've been using this one along with my Ember and Aura Tarot to bring in the more lighter aspects so that I can balance them out. The Modern Hue Tarot, it brings in light because look at it. It's very light and airy and all of that type of thing. The Ember and Aura one, which is out of print, but I'm just going to talk about it briefly. This one is a divine, feminine, Mary Magdalene energy deck. That is what the intention was when it was created. So I've been working with the Gospel of Mary again, all of 2022. What year is it? 2023? All of 2022, and again still throughout this winter. And so now that I'm in creation mode, I've been using this deck to really tap into that energy and to work with the Magdalene. For actually the first time, even though I have studied her gospel in cycles since I was in college. Anyway, so I've been using this deck for that. And like I said, I know that this one's not in print, so I do apologize for that. But this is what I'm using. And I do find that because of the color palette with this, you get a very similar feel, but you still get that traditional Rider-Waite-Smith imagery as well with the Modern Hue Tarot. Okay, one more. So it's still gonna be a briefer video. I managed to keep the video short. This is Tarot of the Abyss. Do I have a full review on this deck on the channel? If I don't, it was definitely on my mass market top 10 deck list, and it would, even if I was gonna redo that deck list, this would still be there. This might even make like my top 10 decks of all time. This deck I have been using for very practical questions for myself. To pull daily draw questions about very practical life things, very practical business things, structures of programs, orders, just very practical things. I find this deck to be both extremely intuitive and extremely practical and literal. One of the things that I love about this deck is I think it's so grounded. It doesn't feel like, when this deck speaks to my intuition and opens up my intuition, it doesn't feel like I'm reaching up, trying to get a grasp on some message. This deck is a very grounded, very practical, easy, intuitive read. And for that reason, I love it. I use it a lot when I read for other people, which I haven't been doing a lot of lately. But I use this deck a lot for that. And lately I have been using it, like I said, for very practical things for myself as well. So these are the decks that I've been using. And I hope that you guys found this video interesting or something. And if you want to find all the information, the website, the current offerings, the Instagram link, all that stuff, you can do that at the link below. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.